Best bit for Monday. Tricky today because as we were all arriving for work, the news had broken that David Bowie had died. And so it was lovely today to dedicate some of the show to people who have met him and worked with him.
And hear their stories. As always, you're so brilliant at that. We sort of... These subjects come up, or these days happen, these big days when everybody's talking about things and sharing stories, and your stories are a very, very important and big part of that. So.
Well, it was lovely to talk to one of... must have been one of his first girlfriends. That was a good story.
Good morning to you, Angela.
You went out with him?
Hello.
Did you go out with him?
I did, I'm afraid, yes.
Not afraid, not afraid.
So when was this?
I mean, it was in the summer of 1967, and I'd met him through a friend of his who he used to be at school with. And he was lovely. I mean, I was very much more keen on him than he was on me, I have to be honest, because he was so charismatic, very, very sure of himself, very confident, but very, very, very polite.
Did you ever keep in touch with him throughout the years?
No, not after about 1968, because it was just how it was. It was the 60s.
So, best bit for today. There can only be one bit, can't there? When our deductionist, Colin comes on, because every time he's come on, he's literally blown our minds, hasn't he?
He's read yours.
Well, and today, something came out of his lips which I never was expecting in a million years.
And I still don't know what it is.
No, and you won't.
Oh.
Well, you might, but I'm not telling it while you're watching. Go away.
So, goodbye. Bye-bye, tell me now. Goodbye.
They're still there.
Bye-bye now, tell me now. Goodbye. Tell me now.
So what I'm going to have you do now, Holly, is think of this memory. Do you mind if I just put one finger just right here? Is that OK?
No.
Perfect. OK, so put your right hand up like this as well. Good. Now, the way I do this to start with is to have you just focus...
Are you getting something out of my brain?
A little bit. Don't worry about it. But, you know, people always say to start with, can you do it with things like people's phone numbers and things... Done. Good. OK, we've got that. But think about just the memory. Your number ends in a 0, doesn't it? Your phone number?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. OK, right. So just right now, focus on the memory. Just focus on what this thing is. And right away, if there's a main thing that you can focus on. Yeah, so is there movement in this memory? You're doing something, you're moving about, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, other people there that you know.
Yes.
That's what makes it embarrassing. They've seen you do this thing and... Quite a lot of movement, but your hand, it's interesting. I was moving your hand that way to see, but there's no movement like swimming or running or walking, but... Moving that way. Is there jumping involved with this thing?
Yes.
Yes, but there's one... Oh, this is bizarre. There's something conflicting as well. Something conflicting with the actual memory that you're thinking. Oh. Right, I'm going to say one... I'm going to whisper something in your ear for a second. I'm going to move the mic so that they don't hear this on camera.
Do you want me to move my mic?
You do that. Keep that covered because you're not going to want this on camera. There's something else going through your head.
Whoa there, Buster.
I know. If I whisper anything along the lines of...
Have you seen Big Brother? They whisper and everyone hears them.
Right, we'll keep it... We'll ask them to mute it in a second, right?
Mute the mics.
I'm going to whisper it in your ear. If I whisper, act surprised, play along, look astonished, you have permission to slap me, OK? I'm going to whisper something specific you were also thinking there, then we'll get to the memory. So the other thing... I'll keep this to ourselves, between you and I. Is that... Yes? Am I right? Yes?
Don't you dare say that.
No, but am I right?
Yes.
Yes, OK.
You're so weird. How did you know that?
Don't worry about it. That's our secret, OK? But the other thing as well...
What I can say is he just said something about somebody I went to school with that I'd rather nobody else ever know.
Yeah, OK. But we'll keep that between us, OK? So I think the other...
You'd hold me to ransom over stuff like that.
I'm going to.
Oh my God.
I've got the phone number. I've got that. Yeah. I wrote something here.
I've actually got a bit hot.
I have that effect. Right.
Okay.
So right now, the memory, I've written something here that may or may not be relevant, but is the memory something to do with, at some point, you're on some kind of trampoline?
Yes.
And the thing is that you got stuck on the trampoline. Is that what you were thinking? Was that the main thing?
Yes.
Yes. How close am I?
Really close.
Yeah, tell us, what is the exact memory? What were you thinking?
I was on a trampoline, and as I went to get off, my knickers got caught in the spring of the trampoline.
I wasn't going to mention that bit, but
and
OK.
I was hanging off the trampoline and had to be cut out.
You got... Hold on, you got cut out?
Yeah.
You got cut out. That's really interesting because I just wrote... got cut out. And that's exactly what you just said, yes?
Oh, my God, you're a wizard!
Thank you.
Best bit for a Wednesday.
Well, I mean, I'm a massive Cadbury's cream egg lover and fan, and today we made our very own. Paul Young came in and told us that the inside of a Cadbury's cream egg is just fondant with a bit of sugar syrup in it.
So basically, it is just sugar.
Yeah, but how good is that? And this one's made with real dairy milk. Unlike the real one that's not made with real dairy milk.
No. The reason we did it was big controversy. Allegedly, they've changed the recipe, lost £6 million quid because they did. Although there have been statements flying backwards and forwards, it is as big as it has always been.
Yeah,
it
the
hasn't
same size.
shrunk in
this
size,
one's bigger.
apparently.
Homemade ones are bigger.
Yeah. Well, the homemade ones can be as big as you like.
As big as your mould.
When you've been eating that for 2 hours. And what's more, you got a really quite bonkers sugar rush.
I did. Oh, yeah, I did. I forgot about that. I'm probably about to get one in a moment. It gave me a bit of a headache. It did. Push through it.
Right, best bit for today.
God, that was really hard. We had lots of very lovely chaps in today. I mean, who'd you pick? Dermot O'Leary, Leonardo DiCaprio? I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it?
I like... It's tough when you're interviewing someone down the line because there's always a bit of a delay. And I've seen interviews with Leonardo DiCaprio quite a bit, and he's always seems like a really fun guy, good interviewer. And he was... it's the film The Revenant, which, as he said, and I think I'm going to pick that as my favourite bit, that people in the past, in interviews, have asked him about his funniest story.
Yeah.
If you've seen the film, the way he describes it, not a lot of laughs.
Not much fun going on there.
I think that there was something about the expression on our director Alejandro's face when I first met him. He almost had a hard time articulating why he wanted to submerge himself in the elements like this. But I have a feeling it was he loved the screenplay, but he wanted to find the poetry about this man's story. Everyone in this movie is trying to survive, from the indigenous people to the fur trappers to even the bear. It's a survival story at its purest form. So through this man's journey, he wanted to find questions about who we are as people. And I saw that in his eyes, and you know, it was something that I wanted to embark on with him. So we all had to put ourselves,
well, it's good of you to say that. You say,
in his hands completely.
OK, Alejandro, yes, I'll be naked in the snow in minus goodness knows what. Yes, I'll eat raw bison liver and get inside a dead horse, and I'll have shooting days where my fingers feel like they're going to fall off, and countless days where I think I'm going to have hypothermia. I mean, that, you know, that's not easy.
No, I wouldn't say it was. It wasn't. I've been asked to talk about fun stories from this whole experience, and it was difficult to come up with one, if any, because
well,
every
is there
day
one?
was absolutely tough. There were no lighthearted moments, really. We weren't jumping around playing practical jokes with each other off camera. It was pretty much, let's just get the hell out of the cold and eat something warm. That was our primary focus every day after work.
Here we are, a new year. Is it a new you? Are you lacking in confidence, charisma, or influence? Because we met a man today who reckons he could put all of that right.
That would be nice if we could give you all those things. It doesn't happen that easily. You have to put a bit of work in, he says. This is Paul McKenna. He's helped people stop smoking. He's helped people
lose weight,
conquer depression, lose weight. So he's one to listen to.
He is. So whatever your little conundrum or dilemma is, he's the man.
I'm in my 30s and I don't have any children. I'm not married.
Yep.
I'm very successful at work, but feel very unsuccessful in everything else. I've tried the obvious, which is like exercise, therapy, diet.
Yep.
However, it's still the same situation. I kind of feel like I've got no purpose.
OK, I want you to just try a quick thought experiment, Sally. Can you think of somebody who you think is confident? It could be a famous person or somebody you know, yeah? Can you think about them right now?
Yes.
Now, what I'd like you to do, I know this is going to sound a bit strange, but this works, right? So, imagine they're standing in front of you right now. What I want you to do... Can you tell us who the person is, or is it private?
It's a friend.
It's a friend, right? And they're confident, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. What I want you to do is imagine they're standing in front of you with the back of their head facing you, and I want you to physically step into them, right? So actually, if I was doing this now, say I was stepping into, I don't know, Sean Connery, right? I would physically step in and copy their posture. You've got to get the physiology, right? As soon as you get the posture, you then start to hear their internal dialogue. So step into them and see the world through their eyes.
Okay.
Hear the world through their ears. Hear how they talk to themselves. But copy their body posture. Stand the way they stand, breathe the way they breathe, smile the way they smile, yeah? How does that feel?
More confident.
More confident. No, OK. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to watch a movie of a more confident you, a you that's able to go out into social situations and feel authentic, a you that's able to be vulnerable, a you that's able to put your point across, a you that is comfortable in your own skin. Watch a movie of you in your imagination right now and tell me when that looks good. Handling difficult people, talking in public, socialising, that sort of thing. Can you? Yeah. Now, float into yourself in that movie. Step into yourself. See through your eyes, hear through your ears, feel how good it feels. That's right. Now, what I want you to do is squeeze your thumb and middle finger together and what we call anchor it. Squeeze, that's it. And I want you to do this every day for the next week. Do it 2 or 3 times a day and squeeze your thumb and finger. And then, whenever you need a burst of this confidence, squeeze your thumb and finger and it'll be on your fingertips. How do you feel right now?
Better, thank you.